How do you feel?
I'm so touched. I can't believe it. It's so surreal. I'm sorry.
These Danish conscripts have just made it through one of the most demanding weeks of their lives. A week designed to break them down and rebuild them for military life. I'd come to Denmark to see how its conscription system was drastically changing.
It's a new world that we're looking in. Women also have to participate in protecting the country.
I want to find out what it takes to turn regular people into soldiers and why you'd want to in the first place.
There's a shadow number of many citizens who could grab a weapon and know how to use that weapon in case something happens.
Conscription has been part of Danish life since 1849, requiring a set number of young adults to serve their country when called upon. Denmark has made global headlines with plans to overhaul conscription in response to growing security threats and Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. Denmark is bringing women into the draft, ramping up annual intake from 5,000 to 7,500 by 2033, and extending service from 4 months to 11. I began my conscription journey at Forsvarsdag, or Military Assessment Day. Held continuously throughout the year, this is where 18-year-olds either volunteer or are selected for service.
Hi, Christina, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having us here today. Where are we and what's going on here?
So we are in this recruitment center in Copenhagen. We'll recruit for the Defense, the Navy, the Air Force and the Danish Emergency Management Agency as well.
Nu her, så skal vi ind og have en prøve. I skal tage alle jeres ting med jer, og sætte jer inde ved en vilkårlig computer her ved siden af.
Any prospective conscripts must pass an intelligence test and a medical exam to make sure they are fit to serve and able to cope with the demands of military life. For those who pass the tests, a lottery system then decides their fate.
Is it all right for me to pick a number to see if I would have to be conscripted into the Danish military?
Yeah.
The system is simple. Peel back the sticker, and if your number is below 15,000, you could be called up to serve.
So I got number 20,754, which would mean that I would be ineligible for conscription. So if I wanted to go into the armed forces, I'd volunteer.
It's remarkable to think that these little red barrels shape not only the futures of the young people in this room, but also the future of Denmark's defence. Having dodged the draft, I still wanted to see what conscription was really like, so I headed out to meet the young men and women doing their service with one of Denmark's most recognisable regiments, the Royal Life Guards. During my visit, they were taking part in a week-long challenge, living outdoors around the clock with little sleep and only half rations to keep them going. At the end of the week, they would graduate from recruit to official conscripted Royal Life Guards.
A lot of countries don't have conscription, haven't had it for a long time. So what would you say to people from those countries about conscription and why it's necessary?
In Denmark, we've always had conscription, and that's been the same with lots of our NATO allies. There's not something you should be afraid of, because it's not about forcing people into the service, a place where they don't want to be. If they don't want to be here, there are options where they can do other stuff for a different part of society. I think it's important personally for NATO as a whole to have citizens of those countries that can actually fight in case something happens.
So what are you guys about to do? Do you have any idea what you're about to do?
So we are walking. We don't know how long. We just know that we are home at about 7 the latest in the morning.
You've been out for 4 days right now. So how's your morale and how are you feeling about everything at the moment?
At night it's down. When it's light, it's up.
Yeah.
And at night you're very down. Feel sorry for yourself.
Your energy and your awareness goes down as the sun goes down.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great night.
The conscripts would march all night in these shocking conditions, with high winds and heavy snowfall. But despite the weather, spirits were high.
Second!
This was more than just a night hike. For these conscripts, the night is filled with surprise tasks. So right now, what they're doing is a mental game. It's basically kind of like battleships. They've got to remember which square goes bang, and the next person has to avoid it. Bang!
Du er død. Tilbage i køen. Næste. Bum! Tilbage i køen. En død.
More than anything, these kinds of exercises are designed to test the conscripts' resilience, pushing them to keep going when they are tired, cold, and under pressure. After nights out in the elements, there's nothing better than finding shelter and getting warm. I found myself in a hangar full of exhausted conscripts, including a young man with a foot that had clearly seen better days. What's happened here?
I don't know. I've just looked at it, seen how bad it looks. Haven't really been that bad yet, but it doesn't look too good now.
I may have been put off my breakfast, but the conscripts were far too hungry to care, as they tucked into what the Danish army calls primitive cooking.
It's the first proper meal that they've had in 4 days. Up until now, they've had to share one ration pack between two. But regardless, they've all got smiles on their faces. It's clear that they're getting a lot from the experience.
As the exercise entered its final day, I wanted to learn more about the future of women in conscription, so I arranged to have a chat with Trina, the conscripts' official spokesperson.
Tell me about women and conscription here in Denmark. How is that changing and why is that important, do you think?
They have to be conscripted as men do. And why is it changing? Well, I believe it's a new kind of world that we're looking into, and women has, of course, opportunities that men do, and we also have to participate in protecting the country, because we are in the country and we are participating in society as a total daily. So we also have to contribute to this.
Feeling inspired, it was time to face the final test of the exercise.
Right, so I'm going to be joining these guys. I think it's an obstacle course.
The pace was fast, and before long I'd had quite enough of crawling through the snow.
Got that bit, yeah? We're about to enter a building. Can hear gunshots in there. No idea what happens once we're in. Stairs. Something going out the window. Coming to the end of the course now, I'm shattered, but nothing compared to what these guys are.
Conscripts were still pushing on after 5 days of barely any sleep. Once they crossed the finish line, they would officially become Royal Lifeguards.
I mean, you can really see what this has meant to these conscripts, not just this assault course, but over the past 4 days and over the past couple of months. They've really put their heart and soul into it. So I'm really happy for them. Great to see that amount of emotion.
As Denmark's newest Royal Lifeguards marched back onto base, I was left with a new appreciation for what that title means. These young men and women have earned their place. For the remaining months of their conscription, they will now stand guard, represent Denmark, and carry on a centuries-old tradition. At a time when Denmark is reshaping conscription for a new generation, it felt like a glimpse of the future, one built on tradition, but shaped by the challenges of today.